With the lockdown lifted in almost all areas in the danger zone, the NDRRMC teams are on post-calamity oculars to assess damage extent and determine a to-do list as part of a master rehab plan for Taal communities hit hard by the volcano's wrath and whims. Among its chief considerations, identifying relocation sites in the towns of Rosario, San Juan, and Nasugbu for those permanently displaced from Volcano Island, as summed up in this Luisa Erispe report.
After weeks of lockdown in areas affected by Taal volcano's eruption, the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council started a rehabilitation assessment in some areas inside a 7-kilometer danger zone. According to the NDRRMC, for faster rehabilitation process, the agency is on a post-disaster needs assessment. In doing so, they would be able to identify the affected areas in need of cleanup and recovery, particularly houses coated and caked in ash, roads destroyed by repeated earthquake jolts, and in building shelters in relocation sites.
So kasalukuyan, sinasagawa itong damage assessment para makita natin yung actual extent ng pagkapinsala na dinulot nitong bulkan. Makakaasa po kayo na merong relocation, resettlement na gagawin ng pamahalaan para makalipat po kayo sa mas ligtas na lugar. Yun po ang inasikaso din natin ngayon.
And for the relocation sites, Human Settlement and Urban Development Secretary Eduardo del Rosario said that they have already checked provinces of Nasugbu, San Juan, and Rosario in Batangas as possible areas for resettlement. But the NDRRMC clarified that their priority for relocation are only those previous residents of Taal Island and now permanently displaced as a result of a presidential directive declaring Volcano Island a no-man's land.
Hindi po natin i-relocate yung mga nasa mainland kasi wala naman pong problema at kundi doon kung tutusin. Yung isla lang po talaga natin ang permanent danger zone.
The NDRRMC targets to finish the recovery and rehabilitation plan in 2 months so that the evacuees could go back to their homes as soon as possible. Because according to the latest data of NDRRMC, there are only almost 2,000 residents that chose to go back to their respective homes. And there are still 135,000 evacuees that chose to stay on temporary evacuation centers while waiting for the rehabilitation to finish. Meanwhile, the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation or PAGCOR gave 20 million worth of assistance and 163 portable toilets and tents for the Taal evacuees. The NDRRMC said that there is no need for the public to worry because they assured to give this assistance directly to the evacuees and that they are doing their best to do a fast recovery and rehabilitation to the areas affected by the Taal volcano's recent eruption. Luisa Erispe for The Nation.